What if I told you that you can fall head over heels in love with yourself? I'm talking that all-consuming, can't get enough, love everything about you type of love. Well, you can. The Self Plus Love Equals Balance podcast is here to show you how. Every week, we'll share tested strategies, personal stories, and invaluable resources to help you take a balanced approach to loving yourself. Here's your host, Carrie, the Balanced Nurse. Let's get to the love.
Hey ladies, welcome back to another episode here with me on Self Plus Love Equals Balance podcast. I'm your host, Carrie, and I am so excited and grateful to be back with you ladies this week. So I did take off last week. It was actually last weekend. I decided to treat myself to my own little release and reset. My little getaway in whatever way that I could locally to do my own regeneration of my energy and clear some mind space and prepare for the year. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, the end of the year. For the year that's coming, but also to make sure that I am bringing lots of value to you ladies. Again, I have to always extend my gratitude for you ladies who reach out and you give me your feedback and even just letting me know that something hit home for you. You do not understand how much that fills my cup, so please keep it coming. And for you ladies who are new to our tribe today, I hope that you love our vibe. Welcome, and I am equally just as grateful for you as well. So, I feel that just to wrap up our monthly theme of gratitude and really putting into perspective where we are right now. Here we are, we're coming off of the Thanksgiving holiday. For those of you who celebrate, just the time that we are in, politically, the time that we are in, just in the space of society, and just whatever you are going or having to go through in your own personal life is heavy. And I think the beautiful, right, I'm going to highlight the rainbow. The beautiful part about the time that we are in right now is that everyone as a collective is going through some degree of disruption in their life, some degree of hiccups and detours of how they normally would navigate their day-to-day or their plans and their goals or what have you. And so I say that it's beautiful because for those of us that tend to take things personally when it gets real heavy and tough for us, this is a way for us to stop. Because it's not about you. There are lessons to be learned during this time. And one of those lessons that I most certainly appreciate and always make sure that I spread the love when I can. So I'm using this platform to do so, is gratitude. So just, let's talk about it. We have the Thanksgiving, we have, just whether you're a parent or not, and whatever you're going through with the homeschooling or schooling, just in general, work, trying to live life, try to drink enough water, trying to do your squats, you name it, whatever, you're trying to do it all. You fall into, I'm clumping it into two groups, right? So you're either that person that you have found it easy to be grateful because you recognize, that the worst is out there and that it has not happened to you. Or you fall into the other group of people who you've been through some things holistically, this time and even, time prior to that, it's been a roller coaster for you and your heart hurts, and having to be grateful is feeling more burdensome than actually alleviating your heaviness and your trauma and just the space that you're in. Gratitude is real hard for you. Well, there's good news if this is where you are. Gratitude is not about altering your reality. It's not about faking the funk. It's okay to acknowledge that your present moment kind of sucks right now, to put it lightly. And I'm not making light of anyone's heaviness, because again, going back to the beauty, all of us, and my hand is raised, are going through some degree of disruption and detour in their life. And when I bring up gratitude, the reason why I'm even, putting this disclaimer out there is that it's something that it's so necessary, it's so effective, but because it's so easy, when I bring it up, people kind of like, yeah, I know, I'm grateful. I talked about that on the other episode, but I think we can sometimes mistake the fact that, what we're going through is tough. We don't have to ignore it or pretend that it's not tough, but gratitude is more of a tool to help us better navigate that heaviness. Acknowledge that heaviness, label it, express yourself, but know that you have tools in your energetic, self-loving, goal-slaying toolbox that you are able to utilize to help you get out of this space, or strategize out of this space, or deal with this space, And so how do we do this? Hey beauty, before we get into the how, let's talk about the now. So right now, if you're having struggles and you're not able to really get through it, you're having trouble with your time management, you're tired of being the dramatic friend, the insecure partner, you're ready to break the cycle of doing the same thing over and over again while expecting different results, then I have a program for you. It's my new Creating Balance program. It has everything that you need. Click the link in the episode details of wherever you're listening to this. Check it out, sign up, let's get to work. But until then, let's get back to the episode. All right, so gratitude, you can process or benefit, I should say more so, gratitude in a number of ways. So you can benefit from gratitude as an emotion, where it's basically the response that you have to something good that is happening or has happened for you in your life. You can experience it as a trait. You have certain people that they are just innately grateful people. I don't know, are you the person who always recognizes what's wrong or what's missing in a situation? Or are you laser focused to always finding the good in a situation? If that is you, always laser focused to finding the good or the benefit of any situation, then gratitude may just be a trait for you. It's ingrained in you. The other way we can experience gratitude is as a practice. I was trying to remember that one. As a practice. So I talk about this. This is definitely what resonates with me. I go back and forth between gratitude as an emotion and gratitude as a practice, but gratitude as a practice is a non-negotiable for me. That's something I do every day. Realizing what you can and what you cannot control. And making a regular and intentional practice of reviewing just that in whatever way resonates with you, whether it is as an emotion or as a practice, or if this is just a trait. You want to really build upon that, expand that, especially during these times or during any difficult time for you, because it really is, what I like to call the secret sauce or the secret weapon. But truthfully, just textbook It's a form of positive psychology, really. It's a way that we intentionally heal ourselves once we recognize what it is that we're working with. And so with working with gratitude, that's what I want to, I guess I want to drive that home for this episode, really, with it being, the end of this month. And I feel like it's going to also help slide us into the theme for the end of the year. Let's just build upon that and make this something that you take away, a need for you to really implement it as a regular thing for you, a regular emotion, trait, or practice. So if we consider the emotions in states that are opposite of gratitude, right? And so what are those? We have anxiety, we have fear, we have bitterness, we have anger. All of those emotions or states of being, they narrow your view, until it's almost laser focused on everything that is wrong. Right? That's really what gets us going. It's like a domino effect of everything that's wrong. I mean, to me, it's energy. That's my thing. Energetically, it's going to start to have an effect on all levels. So you've heard me speak about the bad day that just keeps building on top of itself. You might wake up and bump your toe on the nightstand and decide that you're going to give way too much negative energy to that one instance, and you have way more bumping of the toe instances throughout the rest of the day, right? Where that moment that you were laser focused or had that narrowed view of negativity really just allowed you to attract more, to where, my gosh, by the end of the day, especially if you're someone you're really intense or you're just energetically sensitive, you may have yourself some physical symptoms, right? You may end up with a migraine. You may end up with stomach pain. You may end up with, soreness, fatigue, whatever. Does this sound, like something you can relate to? If so, gratitude may be that secret sauce that you need to invite on your journey right now. All right, so if we think about what gratitude does, right? So let's take that bumping of the toe scenario, right? You bump your toe, but then you decide to shift your mind to the fact that I'm so glad I have a job to go to, or, I'm so glad I get to enjoy my cup of coffee. I'll breathe this off while I do this kind of thing, right? The more that you start to willingly look for the good, even though you're recognizing the bad, the more that your view broadens, because it's innate for us. Like, we think we're more complicated than we are, but humans, we are very simple. We like comfort. Even if that comfort is uncomfortable, we like it. And so if you start to get into the routine of feeling good because you're able to shift your mind and think about, oh, well, I love my home, or I'm so glad that my kids are healthy, or whatever it is, it's going to now shift you to look for more things to be grateful for. And then what happens? We go searching, we identify, we feel better. The more we do it, the more we crave it. And then it can settle in whatever way feels right for us. It can settle as an emotion. It can settle as, just a trait for us, or it can become a practice, the one that I was mentioning to you, me being, I'm always honest, type A personality, generally, historically high strung, need to get stuff done, need to get it done right now kind of thing. Something like bumping my toe would have absolutely set me off. And quite often did set me off. And I found that once I got into my morning routine that included journaling, I automatically, before I even start my brain dump, I was actually sharing this with a friend today about my journaling practice. I start off my journaling with my Reiki principles, and then I list at least, and the least is when I'm really mad and I just want to hurry up and get to it. Or, at most is 3 things, people, experiences, gifts, skills, whateverness is that I'm grateful for. And what it does is that it automatically shifts me into a space of whatever it is that I feel that I need to vent about. It's cool, but I'm not internalizing it, of course, because I'm releasing it on paper, but I've also done like some preliminary work in releasing it by broadening my view of how I do have at least something to be grateful for. And I have to be honest, when I do take the time to go back and read my journal entries, no matter how heavy they may start, they never finish with that same heaviness. There's always this level of hope or strategy or whatever answer that I'm able to appreciate, because that feeling of gratitude was able to weave its way through my energy during that time, honestly. I will say I have to be careful what I make light of, because some people really take some of this to heart, but I have to, with the last go round when COVID just started, and of course the grocery stores were an absolute mess. It was chaos, right? And for some reason, toilet paper and paper towel were a thing, and I didn't recognize how much of a thing it was until I ran out of paper towels. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So, of course, I got into my space of, all right, well, we got to be creative and so on and so forth. And I wouldn't let it bother me, but I was definitely perplexed, but definitely like, you know what? Everything I need is always provided in the time that I need it. And I was going to the dollar store, and I don't know what it was that actually made me stop and say, let me go to the dollar store. Oh, I was going to the grocery store, and I saw the dollar store, and I said, you know what? Let me check if the dollar store has paper towels. I mean, at this point, what do I have to lose? And so went to the dollar store, and sure enough, it was like I hit gold. I mean, I started doing the happy dance, and I think I even said I hit gold. Like, it was exciting for me. So I picked up a couple of rolls of the paper towel, and I remember just like, being really excited about it and realizing that, you know what, I just in that experience, me having that, maybe being too excited over something what we probably otherwise would have thought were minute. That feeling of gratitude that I had was really what protected me from losing it when everyone else had been, for very really minute things. And it wasn't just those particular things. It was kind of a combination. I think everyone was so fixated on worrying about what was wrong and addressing what was wrong that, something like not finding toilet paper or paper towel really just kind of sent them over. And so having the type of personality that I do, that could have very easily have been me at one point. But inviting something like gratitude on my journey has helped me navigate not only this time, but many other heavy and rocky times during my life. So I most definitely want to encourage you to do the same and just to push you a little bit more, because that's my job. I want you this week, before our next episode, so this week your homework is to keep a log of all the areas of your life this week, all the instances, areas, conversations, arguments, disagreements, experiences, if I didn't say that, happenings, I'm trying to cover it all here, that you have experienced in your life where you held on to controlling what you could not control, right? So this normally will show up in the way of anxiety, of fear, of anger, of bitterness. And so pay attention to the occurrences that you have of any of these emotions or states this week, and just kind of jot down, what that was about, whether it was, what was it that you could control and what is it that you could not control. And we are going to not only review that, but kind of have it lead us into our theme for December, which I'll only release in December. But please do your homework, not just for me, but definitely for you. And of course, if you want to connect with me for your specific journey in navigating your hiccups and detours, that is what I'm here for. So you can click the episode details of whatever platform you're listening to this episode on. You can find out ways that you can connect with me, whether it's via one of my programs or by booking a session. That is what I'm here for. Whatever you feel resonates with you, I'm ready when you are. And until next week, Goal Slayer, keep doing your math differently. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Self Plus Love Equals Balance. Be sure to rate and review us on whatever app you use to listen. It goes a long way in helping others find our community. Until then, remember to do your math a little differently and love yourself.